5 ways you could be hit in the upcoming budget.
As the autumn budget approaches, households across the UK are bracing for potential tax changes.
That could impact savings, pensions and inheritance planning. Chancellor Rachel Reeves and Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer's Labour government are reportedly considering a series of fiscal measures aimed at addressing a £22 billion shortfall in public finances. Here are 5 key areas where you could be affected by the upcoming budget. State pension age increase.
Now, one of the most significant changes that could impact older Britons is the rise in state pension age.
The London School of Economics has proposed accelerating the increase to 68 years old, despite the government's current plan to gradually raise the pension age from 66 to 67 by 2028 and 68 between 2044 and 2046. The LSE's report suggests that rising financial pressures caused by an ageing population could necessitate moving the pension age up sooner. This proposed change has raised concerns about its impact on older workers. Many Britons, especially those in physically demanding jobs, may struggle to continue working until the new retirement age, potentially facing financial hardship if they must wait longer to receive their pensions. Currently, the triple lock guarantees that state pensions will rise in line with inflation, average earnings, or by 2.5%, whichever is higher. However, the government is considering an earlier pension age increase to help sustain the triple lock and ease budgetary pressures. According to LSE, raising the pension age to 68 could save the government an estimated £6.1 billion, but critics argue this would put an additional burden on workers, particularly those close to retirement. While the current rules allow Britons aged 55 or 57 from April 2028 to move house or prepare for retirement, the looming changes could disrupt these plans, forcing many to reconsider their financial future. Cap on ISA savings.
Now, another area likely to be targeted in the upcoming budget is tax-free savings through individual savings accounts.
Analysts predict that Labour may impose a cap on the amount that can be held in ISAs, potentially setting a lifetime limit of around £500,000. This would significantly alter the landscape for savers, particularly wealthier individuals who use ISAs to protect their savings from taxes. Currently, Britons can deposit up to £20,000 annually across various types of ISAs, including cash ISAs, stocks and shares ISAs, and lifetime ISAs. These accounts offer valuable tax-free growth on savings and investments, costing the Treasury approximately £5 billion per year in tax relief. Labour's potential reforms could reduce the annual allowance for cash ISAs while increasing the limit for stocks and shares ISAs to encourage economic growth through investment. While the changes are intended to address the £22 billion gap in public finances, they could have significant consequences for middle-income households and investors who rely on ISAs to build long-term financial security. Financial experts are urging Britons to be cautious and to consider diversifying their investment portfolios ahead of the budget.
So it will be a budget with real ambition. A budget to fix the foundations, a budget to deliver the change that we promised, a budget to rebuild Britain. And my budget will keep our manifesto commitments. Every choice we make will be within a framework of economic and fiscal stability. You'd expect nothing less. We said we would not increase taxes on working people, which is why we will not increase the basic, higher or additional rates of income tax, national insurance or VAT. And we will cap corporation tax at its current level for the duration of this Parliament.
Pension tax relief cuts.
Now, pensioners may also be hit by proposed cuts to tax-free lump sum allowances in the budget.
Under the current system, Britons can withdraw up to 25% of their pension tax-free, with a limit of £268,275. However, Chancellor Rachel Reeves is reportedly considering lowering this cap or reducing the percentage that can be withdrawn tax-free, which could significantly increase the tax burden on retirees. Steve Cameron from wealth management firm Aegon has warned that there is growing pressure on the government to cut tax relief for those with larger pension pots. Experts predict that a new cap of £100,000 could be introduced, affecting 1 in 5 pension savers. This would be a controversial move, as it would impact funds that have been built up over decades, undermining one of the most valued tax incentives for retirement savings. If these changes are implemented, many pensioners could see a significant reduction in the benefits they're counting on to support them in retirement. The potential cuts to LSA would force retirees to pay more taxes on the proportion of their pension that exceeds the new cap, further complicating retirement planning for many households. Inheritance tax hike.
Fears of an inheritance tax hike have caused a surge in families rushing to their children to give them money ahead of the budget.
Chancellor Rachel Reeves is reportedly considering increasing IHT as a way to raise funds for the Treasury, which has wealthier families scrambling to protect their assets before new rules come into effect. Currently, inheritance tax charges 40% on estates valued above £325,000 or £500,000 if the estate includes a property left to children. Couples can combine their allowances to pass on up to £1 million tax-free. However, experts warn that the Chancellor could lower these thresholds, forcing more families to pay higher taxes on inherited wealth. Accountants are advising clients to accelerate plans to transfer wealth to their children under the current rules to avoid future tax burdens. Lizzie Murray from Safri, an accountancy firm, noted that many families are now choosing to gift money earlier than planned, fearing that Labour's potential tax rate could drastically change the inheritance tax landscape. Capital gains tax rise.
Capital gains tax is another area expected to see increases in the upcoming budget, with high net worth individuals likely to be the primary targets.
CGT applies to profits made from the sale of assets like property or investments and is seen by the government as a low-hanging fruit for generating revenue. Currently, the CGT rates range from 10% for basic rate taxpayers to 20% for high-rate taxpayers. However, Labour is believed to be considering increasing these rates, which could result in a wave of high earners leaving the country to avoid the increased tax burden. Even Britons living abroad could be affected if they hold assets in the UK. Nigel Green, CEO of De Vere Group, has warned that the autumn budget will be painful for many taxpayers, urging them to act now to protect their wealth. He emphasised that capital gains, inheritance tax and pension taxes are being targeted as easy ways to raise funds for the Treasury. The potential CGT rise could impact not only high net worth individuals, but also middle-income households who have invested in property or stocks. Experts advise reviewing financial plans and considering tax-efficient strategies to minimise the impact of any future CGT hikes. The upcoming autumn budget is shaping up to be a challenging one for many Britons, with potential tax hikes on the horizon in several key areas. Whether it's changes to pensions, inheritance tax, or capital gains tax, households are being urged to prepare for significant financial adjustments.
Now, taking proactive steps now, such as reviewing savings, investments and estate planning, could help mitigate the impact of these potential changes.
Subscribe to see more of our latest videos on the topics that you care about.